do this because I just never trust the internet. I always just go on my phone and make sure I'm live.
Now, but it's all good. I don't mean it's that delay, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, I did a presentation for Jason's platform for the Sanctuary thing that I'm doing, and did the whole presentation. I could see all the slide deck, but I didn't screen share. So an hour-long presentation, and a lady watched it and she went, because I pre-recorded, she went, "Are we meant to see a slide deck?" I was like, "Oh, bollocks. Yes, we are meant to see a slide deck." Right, I'm doing it again. So, right, okay, I think we are. Let me just double check. A little bit of a delay, so it should be.
It says it's live.
Yeah, it says it's live. Right, we're live. Right, okay, let's have a look. Nobody's in yet. So what I will do my intros, and I've got it to my podcast, and it's less repurposing, and then I will bring you in, and we'll go from there. Perfect. Yeah? Okay. Hi there, guys. This is SJ Hartshorn from BBB Beauty Business Builder. Welcome to another podcast. Now, this is quite an exciting podcast for me. This is a live interview that I'm currently doing through my BBB Tribe page. So what I will say is if you listen to these podcasts or you watch me on YouTube and you want to get in with a live action and be able to fire questions away, then make sure you reach out to me on Facebook, BBB Tribe. So like I said, this is probably episode 43 now. My podcasts are designed for people within the personal care industry. I want to help support, motivate, inspire, and try and break the mold of beauty entrepreneurs. I believe that we've got so much knowledge and skills to share, and we shouldn't be solely relying on time for money exchange services. So if this is the first time you listen in, then I do advise you to go back to the beginning. There's so many amazing tips, strategies, and things that you can implement into your business, and some really good interviews with specialists that will help you in your current beauty empire to build and expand. And if you are a keen listener, then thank you so much for keeping connected and staying with me. So today I have got a special guest. Now, this is James White, and he is a sales expert. Now, he specializes in teaching and helping people with their sales in the small business sector, and he's been doing this many years. So I've got quite a lot of questions that I want to ask James today, and I think we all get scared of selling. We all are scared of upselling. We're scared of talking to our clients. We don't know how to talk to our clients, and hopefully James is going to answer all these burning questions that you've got. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome James White. Hi, James.
How are you? All right.
I am very good. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm very good, really good. So I'm going to try. It's a bit of an open. I'm going to try and answer some of it. I'll answer them. It's all good. Sales is great. Sales is what
we all need sales. So just give us a little bit of an intro so my followers can kind of get to know a little bit about you.
Yeah, definitely. No, look, I've so brief outline. I've been in business since 2005. I set up my first company in 2005. Spent a number of years building that business after being in sales and marketing in some IT roles for a number of years. So I've got what I call the scars and the smiles of running my own business for 16 years now, 16 and a half years, whatever the figure is. So I actually now invest in and mentor, have a couple of companies. I invest and mentor in some businesses myself, mainly smaller businesses. So I'm a mentor for about 4 programs where I help them achieve a group of people that are similar to your situation, that they've got business owners that they work with, get sales results. And as I say, I invest in 3. I've got 4 active investments at the moment with businesses that I'm doing work with. So I try and with the intention of getting those guys to scale and grow and build businesses that get them what they want. So, but for me, yeah, and I look, the idea of business and sales and as a small business owner is tough, right? It can be, especially in the last 12 months, it's been tougher than everything else. And my passion is helping those small business owners get consistent results. Because when you get consistent sales,
yes,
everything in your life feels better.
Yeah. If you've got consistent money coming into that bank account by implementing small changes, then it can then free your mind to be more creative and, and do other things. So definitely.
It's exactly my vision. So my whole vision is, and we both know, Jason, who talks about financial freedom as people individually. But if you're a business owner and you keep looking at the numbers on your bank, whether it's your app, Starling or Monzo or whatever bank you use, and you keep looking, going, oh, there's no money coming in, the stress it creates for you as a business owner with your family. So people say to me, what do I do? And I say, I help save marriages. I help families have better times with their kids. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, because when you sell and you bring money in, you feel better on a weekend. You feel better on a Monday or a Tuesday going and doing things. And that's what I enjoy doing, is having that impact.
Yeah. And I think also as well is if you've not got the consistency coming in, you almost go into panic mode as well. So you go for the quick cash things and you don't tend to go for the things that truly inspire and motivate you because you're just thinking of the quick cash coming in as well. So I think that is a really big thing that I found, all my years of doing beauty. You chase the quick money and you don't do what truly inspires you,
It's such a great point. And what happens is I did a video on my YouTube channel, so I've got lots of resources and materials around it. And I did a video a couple of weeks ago around, is any business good business? And the honest answer I say to people is no, because what happens is two things. You'll only devalue yourself. That's the first thing. So you'll devalue yourself and who you are. And there's a saying I use, if you give a cat a plate of cream, it wants a pint of milk. So the problem is once you start going down that process, your clients are going to expect it at that price.
Yeah.
Secondly, your opportunity cost is huge because you could have then had someone that was going to pay the value that you wanted. Yeah. And thirdly, and more importantly, is you've using that time to do work that someone that you don't enjoy because you're not getting paid what you should get paid. Well, actually use that time to create content or to create value for your audience and be in a position where you can replicate what you do, and you're going to be in a far better position. So I always say to people, bad business is like a curry, a hot curry. It tastes all right to start off with, but it hurts the other end. It's not worth it.
It's a good one. It's a good one. So why do you think people are scared of selling? What have you come across with the small businesses that you work with? Why are people scared of selling? Because selling is, people just see it as hard sell, don't they? So why are people scared?
They're scared probably for a couple of reasons. The first reason that they're scared of it is because they get sold badly to by most small businesses, and I say on this, not just small businesses, but any business, unfortunately, sell badly. And what they do, they sell based upon the person that's selling's wants and what they want, not the prospect. So we'll come on and unpack this a bit more. So people, because they're used to being sold to badly, then don't like this concept around sales, because it's like if you get spoken to on the phone by someone and you think they're rubbish, you think, oh, they're trying to sell me something. You have this preconception around sales. That's the first thing. The second thing that people are scared of is they're scared of what will happen. So I always say to people are scared of the reaction they'll get if they speak to someone, or they're scared of them being rejected, or they're scared of actually being in a position where they might be told that what their product or service isn't worth that figure or whatever. So they get scared of certain elements around, or talking to someone they don't know. When I literally say to people in my courses, I'm going to get you to pick up the phone and talk to people you don't know, it's as if I've literally gone to their house and had a pee in the middle of the front room. It's the look is that bad. It's like, you're telling me to do what? Exactly. But the point is because they have this preconception again around what this is, because the way in which they've approached sales. So the way I approach sales is I go through a structure with people about doing it in the right way. And when great sales, your prospects want to talk to them. When you know what you do and you know the problem and impact and the wants you can solve for them, your prospects want you to phone them. They want you to solve them. They just don't quite know it yet. So it's about people get scared of it. But I think it's also, the final thing I'd say is about their mindset. So there's a mindset around sales that it's this horrible, cheesy, horrible thing to do because it seems like a sleazy thing to do. Whereas actually great salespeople are value creators. They're educators. They're people that make a difference. They solve problems. And what you've got to do is start thinking of sales in that way, not just as being this.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And the way, and what I've kind of learned from following you is it's all about consulting. It's all about consulting, finding out the client's problems, and then just helping them with the problems and not actually selling. So tell us a little bit about this. So obviously a lot of people that are watching this are in the personal care industry. So they have people ringing up for appointments, or people walking in and inquiring, or they have people sat there having their nails done, and they get talking about something and find out they can upsell or sell them something else. So what are your top tips on actually creating a sale from that?
Yeah, great. So the first tip I give people when you're trying to sell is not to sell. So the first tip is have a conversation with someone. Be interested in that other person. Okay. So let's just say I was was offering that service as and hopefully a number of your businesses have been stuck down or affected by things. But when things open back up again, the first thing I'd be asking people is, oh, so what's brought you in today to come and see us? Have you got a special event coming up? Or, tell me about what's been happening with you. So one of the key things that we need to do, sales is all about two things, really. Asking brilliant questions in the right way. So asking great questions, and by great questions, I mean the what, the how, the tell me more, the stuff that brings out the emotions in people.
Yeah.
So it's about asking those questions in the right way. And it's then about making sure that we can then listen and probe and find out what people are doing as a result of that. People only buy for two reasons. There's two reasons only in the world. There's a problem or a want. Okay. So if they don't have a problem or want, you won't sell. It's hard to sell anything to anyone. But if I was in a room doing some, let's say I was doing an upsell, for example, and so, tell us what's been, what your plans for the next, now lockdown's over, what are your plans for the next 6 months, or what are your plans for the next year? Okay, well, I'm going to do this, we're going to do this. Oh, tell me more about that. Have you got a special event you're lining up for? Or we want to probe and find out what's going on, have a conversation with people. But when we have a conversation, we might be able to find out that the person that's just doing the nails or doing the activity has actually got a special holiday that they're coming up with their loved one, for example. Well, and then they might be able to say, well, actually, talk to you about that holiday. And how do you want to look for that holiday? How do you want to feel for that holiday? Oh, I want to feel amazing. I want to feel fantastic. And amazing. What sort of things would make you feel amazing? Well, I don't really like my eyebrows. I don't really like my nails. I don't really like. Oh, fantastic. Talk to me more about that. What don't you like about them? So we want to get to know the person and probe. Yeah. I always talk to people about sales being across what I would call 5 phases. The first 2 are problem or want. There's people only buy from a problem or want. The second one is understanding. And what most small business owners don't do is take time to understand people. So we want to ask questions, to listen, not talk, to listen, understand what people are doing. And then the final elements are what I call belief and trust, i.e. they then think you can solve their problem and they want you to then help them look at doing it. Yeah. So my advice to the guys that you're talking to is just get friendly and ask conversations. In fact, one of the things that's interesting around this industry that you work in, most people are very conversational, right? Yeah. They're good at having conversations, but just probe and find a bit more. Use the what, the how, the tell me more, talk to me through what's been happening, those type of questions. If I said to you, SJ, are you coming in for a haircut today? Or have you got a special event lined up? You might say, yeah, I've got this, this, and this. Whereas if I said to you, do you have a special event lined up? You'll say yes or no. So we want to get away from just the sort of the binary answer.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I also do find, obviously, a lot of in the first lockdown, I brought a lot of consultations online. So I was sat doing skin consults online to my clients. And what I found was very interesting is a lot of clients, when you first start talking to them, they have a barrier up. So they'll come on for a consultation. They want me to help with their skin. And I'll say, okay, tell me about your skin. Oh, my skin's all right, really. Well, okay. Do you have any, do you find that it does this? How do you want your skin to be? What is your big goal with your skin? Yeah. And then before, once you get that right question and they've started to think, okay, she's interested, they start then giving you so much. So where they've started off saying, oh, my skin's all right, I just don't want to get any older, they've now told you they don't like the lines around the eyes, their skin's really dehydrated, this has happened. And then with all that info, I sold a lot of subscriptions and a lot of online retail in the first month of lockdown. I think I signed up 35 people on a subscription model. And I was using the tips that you say about asking the questions, and I didn't even feel like it was selling. So right at the end, it was like, okay, so with what you've told me, if you want to get them results, I can help you with that. I can personally prescribe this, this, and this. Is that something that would interest you?
Exactly. It's a great way of looking at it. And so I talk about these 4 phases. So once you've understood people, most people at that point want a solution, right? So if you've got, I always say to people, if you if you've got a pain, or something they want to achieve, and they've told you about an event they're doing, or they've told you about a skin problem with wrinkles under their eyes, right? Let's take wrinkles under their eyes. And you're saying, oh, I'm sorry to hear about the wrinkles under your eyes. And look, but how's that making you feel? Or what's the impact of you as a person on how those are making you, it's making me feel really down. Oh, talk to me. What do you mean down? Well, it makes me feel completely depressed, and I feel blah, blah, blah. And, oh, that sounds awful. And how does that affect your life? Oh, it makes my life terrible. Well, what would it be like to get that solved? Oh, it'd be amazing. Do you know anyone that can help me solve it? Well, funny enough, actually. Do you know what I mean? So it's a natural route to then go and solve. And it's what I call bridging. But you've got to understand, and people, not so much you, but your prospects, the people you talk to are like an onion. All right. And I say to people that your prospects are like an onion. There's 7 or 8 layers into an onion until you get to the core. Very few people will give you the information off the bat, but you've got to probe in the right way. And if you probe with empathy and with care, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that's an issue, or oh, that sounds like it's been really tough for you, or what's been going on, people are interested. They want you to be interested in them. They'll give you information that you can then, if you're clever, not clever, you can then start to find out what's going on. And actually, more importantly, and this is the other key thing, you can then see if they're a good fit for you. Because if actually they have a problem, but it may well be that they're not a fit for you, in which case you can say, look, no worries at all, it's not right. But the biggest thing that most small businesses don't do is they try and sell too early, and they don't ask enough questions.
Yeah, they don't ask enough questions. They don't tap in with the emotional side of that person. And like you said, they go for the end sale far too quickly.
Yeah, and I have a model on my YouTube channel, right? Sales is like dating, okay? And it's no different, right? So let's say sales is like dating. Let's say you go on a date with someone the first day. We've all been on dates, right? And the first date, someone's there, it's sort of, oh, nice to meet you. Great, yeah, great to meet you. And then suddenly someone starts talking about themselves. Here's how I do. Here's what I do. Here's what I did for the last 15 years and blah, blah, blah. After 15 minutes, you'd be like, get me out of here, right?
Yeah.
We've all been on dates with people that are like that, right? They want to talk about themselves. And unfortunately, business owners think that sales is that, and it's not. Sales is definitely not. There is a time and place to talk about you, but it isn't in that initial instance normally.
Yeah. So one big, massive tip from what you've just said is listening more than talking. Listening more than talking and asking those open questions, getting in touch with their emotions on why that problem is making them feel a certain way. And from there, you will find the process not a sale, if that makes sense.
It is, but the key thing is how you ask those questions as well. So there's the questions of how you ask it. So if you take someone, for example, if I said to you, well, why do you want to do that? You might be like, interrogative. Where if you say, oh, talk to me more about what that event's looking like. Oh, great to hear you've got this event coming up with this special holiday coming up. Talk to me more about that. What's going on? Oh, well, me and my friends and family are coming together. Oh, and great. And what's, what are you looking to do? If you've got any special occasions planned, do you want to look amazing for any of those nights? Yeah, well, we've got a special anniversary night or whatever else. I don't know. And we want to, oh, fantastic. And how are you going to do that? What are you going to do to make that happen? Well, I don't know. I'm thinking about, have you got any ideas? Oh, you know what I mean? People will come to you talking about it. Yeah. But you've got to ask questions and probe. Don't just listen to an answer and then move on to the next one. Keep seeing your prospect a bit like an onion. Keep sort of digging in the right way, but in a nice way. Yeah. Rather than necessarily being like they're interrogated by the Gestapo. You know what I mean? They want to feel like that you're interested in them. Yeah. People buy when they feel like someone cares about them. They want to care about the issues that they've got. And also, they going on to the final bits of it. Once they've got that problem and issue, they just then want 2 things. They want belief that you can solve their problem. And the final thing is they want to trust you. They want to trust you. Can you make what you say you will? Or this problem that I've got, can you make it go away? Yes. Can you make it? And if you show me evidence you can, and you show me examples that you can, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Yeah. That's sales in its nutshell.
Yeah. So that kind of leads on to kind of closing a sale. So if you go down the right path, what you've just said now, in terms of being interested with your client, asking the right questions in the right way, connecting more with the emotional side of that client, doing all of that, the closing should be a lot easier.
Correct. And look, there's a lot of people who will tell you, and unfortunately, there's a lot of bullshit out there, unfortunately, around what sales is. And people say, oh, I'm an expert closer. You can go and become an expert closer. It is absolute crap to think that you can close someone within seconds or minutes of meeting them just from using 1 or 2 lines. It's bullshit, absolute bullshit. It's like you have to, closing is the natural easiest thing to do when you've got to know and engage with a prospect over a period of time. And when you've identified and found out what the real problems and challenges are and what the impact of those are for them and what it means to them and what's it costing them in terms of emotions and whatever else. And then we do what I call this phrase of bridging. So bridging is where the prospect is here and you're here, and we want to basically show them there's a solution. When you show them that solution, then they go, "Oh, this sounds great. Well, how do we move forward? What's the options here? How does this work? How does this come together?" Well, closing is then very much a case of, look, would it be helpful if I show you some examples of how we can make that happen? And look, sounds like option A or option B is a good option for you. Which one do you want to go with? Yeah, that's the most simplest close you can ever use. Option A or option B is the right one. Which one would you want to go with? Oh, well, I think option B. Now, if you say that question to someone that you haven't understood, or you haven't really got to know, or you haven't really shown the evidence of how you can solve their problem, you might force them into doing a thing and making the decision. But what you'll then get more than likely is buyer's remorse. So buyer's remorse is when people then go after, actually, I thought about it and I don't want to do it, because their brain goes through a process afterwards. Whereas if you're basically going on that journey with them, it's a much easier sell. That closing is natural if it's done in the right way, but if it's contrived and if people are forced into it, they just feel aggrieved, and it will just go back to my curry analogy. It will just cause you more problems at the end of the line, because bring someone in that then won't stay with you or become. So I talk to people about, how do you build customers that become a tribe for you?
I was just going to say this because what you'll get is you will get some people that will just buy just to shut you up. If you don't do it the right way, they'll just be like, okay, yeah, I'll buy the product. But they will never be your loyal fans. They'll never be your tribe. They'll never then trust you with every single problem, beauty or hair related, ever. So it is all about, if you are showing people, that you can help with their problems and they trust, know, and like you, that's your tribe, right? And you're building that.
It is. And I say to people, there's 3 ways in which you can sell as a business owner, right? The first one is the phrase, I'll use it. It's not a very nice phrase. It's called fuck 'em and duck 'em. And the whole idea is a lot of people have this approach of, oh, F them. I'm just going to get the sale in, bring money in for me, and it doesn't matter what happens. But the problem is with that approach is what happens then is that the load of shit that comes back the other side, right? And when they try and duck it, but some of it sticks. And unfortunately, we get the analogy well enough to know what I mean. But the point is on social, and that comes with bad reviews and all those type of things. So that's the first thing, what I call F 'em and duck 'em. The second thing is deliver and disappoint. They don't mean to disappoint, but they promise stuff and then don't deliver it. And what happens again, they get the reviews that don't quite work, and it goes. The third one is what I call transform and tribe, where you actually then say, right, I'm going to help you take away this issue, this problem or want that you've got, and give you this perfect solution. And at the end of it, you got this person go, oh my God, I can't believe how amazing that was. It was incredible. It was brilliant. You need to go and talk to SJ because she's amazing. They become a tribe. They become your ambassador. They become your sales force.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to go down the first route because you just want to get money in, but it will cost you in the end as a business owner.
And this is the thing, if you go down that first route, you'll be doing that daily, every single client, because you'll just be going in for the quick cash. Whereas if you approach and spend more time building that relationship, then what you'll find, I find clients now that they'll reach out to me and they'll say, a while ago, we spoke about this product that did this certain thing and I really could relate with that with my skin. I'm ready to order some now. And I'll just get people that will and I've not actually spoken to them in a month, but they remember that moment of when I was talking to them about the problems that I could help them with. And then they just then reach out to me. So your work on a long term is so much easier because they will always just come back to you.
Such a great point. And one of the things, again, that, business, like I said at the start, people sell too early. And because they sell too early, it's like there's nothing worse than someone and people say, one of the biggest comments I get from business owners is, I want to sell, but I don't want to appear pushy. Okay. They don't want to appear pushy. They don't want to appear like this sort of, and I say to them, there's a quote I use, which is true. Desperation is a really stinky perfume. Okay. And if you think about it, if you're desperate when you're engaging from a sales perspective, it looks awful and obvious. And it just isn't a good. Whereas if you're able to say, hey, look, it's totally what's right for you. I want you to go and do what's right for you. By the way, here's some resources. Here's a video I've created on it. Here's a guide. Here's a checklist.
Yep.
So I know what you're giving your customers, SJ, is all about helping them create content and using materials that they can use.
Yeah.
If that person then gets a guide and then gets another guide or another resource a couple of months later or whatever, suddenly they're going, you know what, this SJ is great. And actually, I like it. I'm going to go back to her and talk to her. I could literally show you my email this morning. I've had an email from a lady who I've continued to give value to over the course of the last 6 months, who literally sent me an email this morning. I won't tell you her name is. Following on from your email about the above, I'd love to talk to you about your Sales Accelerator training. Can you give me a call when you're free, please? So that's a lady. That's an email I've just had this morning from someone that I've not gone in with, but has literally seen the value coming through on a time. It's now saying, I want to buy your product.
Yeah. Yeah. So that kind of goes on to, it goes on to creating, like when we look at kind of like social media and how we come across online, it's all about giving value, giving knowledge, and yes, it's free. We're giving it out there free, but what we are doing is building up that trust with that person rather than throwing out. And the amount of times I see it, nail extensions, 25 quid next week, buy this product, get this one free. And that's what you see so much. And what's really nice in our industry is it has started to change. Lockdown has made people think, you know what, I'm going to have to start giving value because I'm not getting my clients to the door because I can't work. So it has actually changed slightly, but I think people need to do that so much more. They need to do.
And the other thing I'd also say to you guys, SJ, and to your client base is people aren't buying the nail extensions, okay? They're not. So this is the biggest fallacy that people have, is that people think that people are buying. So here's the thing, right? When I go to Dean, lovely man, my hairdresser in Bridgewater, we're in Somerset where I live. So when I go and see Dean, right? Okay, am I buying Dean giving me a haircut? No, I'm not. What I'm buying is Dean making me look better and making me feel better about myself, right? Yes. So actually, it's the outcome that people buy, not the actual service. So what potentially your clients are selling to what they're selling is their husband or wife noticing them again, or their husband and wife, or people walking down the street going, "Wow, look at her, look at him." Yeah, they're selling confidence. They're selling people feeling amazing. They're selling people feeling 10 foot tall. The actual thing they've got is the nails, the eyebrows, or whatever is the thing that they actually do. It's the outcome that people are buying.
It's the emotion. People are buying that feeling and not the product. No, definitely. So yeah, any other kind of like you've given us, we've crammed so much in like 25 minutes. I feel like I hope people have got a pen and paper and been writing it all down. If anybody that's watching this live has got any questions, then please find them in the chat. James, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, so on social media, I'm always happy to help them. So.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll make sure that we talk about how people can connect with you at the end, but any top tips that people can take away from this interview and start doing immediately to help them with either more confidence with sales, or to, whatever you think it may be, for somebody who doesn't approach this so differently, who doesn't approach it at all, any top tips that you can give?
Yeah, definitely. Firstly, don't think about sales being about sales. Think about it being a conversation. Firstly, get to know a person. The second thing is look at what you do and who you're a fit for. Okay, and actually see if you're a fit. If you know that you offer a premium nail service, then don't go and try and sell that to someone that doesn't value those elements or that won't pay for it.
Know your client. Know your client.
Know your audience and who your audience is and what specifically they want to buy from you about. A couple of little tips when you're having conversations with people. Never leave a conversation. It's difficult because if they're in the chair, or doing the activity, it's a bit different. But if you're having a sales conversation with someone outside of that, never leave a conversation with someone without knowing what the next action is. So one of the things I encourage people to do is to say, look, I've really enjoyed the conversation with us today, SJ. I think it's been brilliant. And we've talked about some great stuff here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to summarize X, Y, and Z for you as we've talked about and provide some information. What I'd like to do is just come together next Tuesday at 3 p.m. How does that work? To see if we can talk through this and see if there's an opportunity to move things forward one way or another. How does that sound? Oh, Tuesday at 3 p.m. No, I'm busy then. Okay. And what, maybe Wednesday at 3 p.m.? No, I can't do Wednesday at 3 p.m. either. Oh, right. Okay. So, look, I'll be honest with you. It sounds like that you're not comfortable moving to having another conversation. Look, I'd rather know that right now than try and go down a path if it's not right for you. Just tell me what you're thinking. what happens a lot of cases in sales is people talk. Someone says, yeah, I'll look at the proposal, and they then don't basically, they don't then follow up. When they follow up, they blank them, they ghost them. Okay. Yeah. And it's because your prospect should always want to, even know that the next step is not going to be anything. We're not fit together we're not going to go our own separate ways, or to say, yeah, I'd love to carry on the conversation. Yeah. So always leave a lead or a meeting with what we're going to do next, and try and get that as a confirmed element in someone's diary. If it's in someone's diary, it's more likely it's going to happen.
Yeah. You can even say, you know what, shall I give you a call at the beginning of the next week? Can we chat Monday morning and just have a chat over the phone, see where you are with, what we've discussed?
Set a date and time. Look, I know you're busy. We're both really busy, but I've got Monday morning. How does Monday morning at 11 work for you? Have a look at your diary. Yeah, that's cool. Actually, great. So what I'll do is I'll call you on Monday at 11. I'll send you the information before, and let's just have a chat. And if it's a good option, great. If it's not, no worries. I'll leave you to it. Now, when you're doing that sort of like, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, no worries. You're basically saying to someone, hey, I'm not going to push you down a path, but I want to know what the next step is.
But I'm going to be there at that appointment to help you to answer them questions that you may have come up with over the weekend, let's say.
Correct. Or to move the conversation forward. The other thing is around sales is a series of processes and steps. You don't go like in dating, right? You don't go on a date, the first date, and agree to marry someone. You go on a second date and a third date to then get to know them.
Some people might,
but most people don't. But most environments, it's about you go on that journey, right? So it's steps. So it's knowing the next step that you want to get to, and then making sure in that conversation, if there is a good fit, that you go to that point. So look, there's lots that, we're going to do. I think we're going to do a course anyway. We've got you some materials we're going to support you guys on to go through this stuff in more detail. But look, sales isn't complicated. It's just that people make it complicated.
Yeah. So the guys that are watching this, as a lot of you know, I am and almost done a full BBB Elevator program, which James has included a module in there which is going to give you everything that you need to know on how to get over the anxiety of selling, how you can implement it into your business. So it is going to be a fantastic module within that program. So James, let us know how people can connect with you. What is the best way they can find you? Because I know you have so much free resources out there for people. So, let us know now, and I can make sure that's in the chat anyway, but just for the...
Cool. So look, there's lots of resources. Firstly, they can head to my website, jameswhite.business, or if they search on me, I don't know, when we first started, you thought my name was James White Sales.
I know, which I thought was amazing. I'm like, James White Sales, what a cool name. It's like mine being called SJ Eyebrows. That'd be awesome.
So anyway, so my name is actually James White, but if you search on James White Sales on any social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, you'll find me there. Or if you go to YouTube, there's a new video I release every Saturday morning. The actual one this Saturday morning is all around how you can feel more confident as a business owner to learn to sell. Videos all around, small businesses are my focus. Generally, business owners that are, let's say at the early stage of their business, up to about £500,000 turnover. Between those sort of 50 to £500,000, that's my sweet spot. That's where I focus. I've scaled businesses going to that stage and work with people to move their business forward. I know that's where I enjoy working, because that's where you, like I said at the start, when business owners then start seeing their money in their bank account and start seeing it looking through, that they feel great, and that's what I like. Is just people
definitely. So just basically search James White Sales, and you'll find him on your preferred social media platform, and connect with him from there. So thank you, James, so much for joining me today. I think everybody that'll be listening to the podcast, YouTube channel, or live would have really got some valuable insights on how to get over that anxiety of selling. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's been fantastic.
You're welcome. And final tip, don't worry about sales. It's natural. The best salespeople are natural. But remember one thing I said to my dad said to me, use your 2 ears and 1 mouth, use them in proportion.
2 ears and 1 mouth, exactly. So listen more than talking, keep it shut. Listen more. Thank you so much. And thank you those guys that are watching live. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Take care.